between the Chelmsford Lions and the Andover Warriors. Chelmsford Lions 4-0-1 in the Merrimack Valley Conference, 9-1-1 overall, with the Warriors in Division II, second behind Haverhill with a record of 3-1-2 in Division II and 4-4-2 overall. After tonight's contest, Chelmsford will go on to face Central Catholic this Saturday, and with a win over Central Catholic, right now they're undefeated in the league. They can clinch at least a tie for the division.
Well, Bill, as the year started, I didn't know that we'd be having one loss at this point in time. It's been a great year already for Chelmsford High, and it's going to get nothing but more exciting as time goes on and we get closer to making it into Boston. Two of the veteran players, obviously, the scorers, the forwards that are back from last year, Scott Trahan, Mike Curtis.
Jack, we talked, Danacoin was here as you were traveling last week during the AB game, and we talked about Curtis. He's just really stepped it up this year. Number 3 in the league right now in scoring behind Scott Trahan and, of course, Tim Calabro of Borica.
Scotty Trahan is behind Calabro now, is that right?
Yeah, Calabro's now leading with 30 points, 9 goals and 21 assists.
Well, the good news is that both guys are coming back next year as well, but we're going to take advantage of their presence for the rest of this year, 1997-98. Along with them, we've seen a lot of guys step up. We've seen the confidence back on the blue line of a couple, again, veterans, Ryan and Bruce Lindstedt. Both of those guys now are carrying the puck with nothing but confidence, stepping up, making the big play, keeping it in the other guy's zone when it counts, and moving the puck through middle ice like they're forwards.
Absolutely. The defense, you know, some of these kids you just don't realize, especially Mikey Kahn's, you know, still young. We got him for a number of years. I think the one other player to point out, great game over Tewksbury, Garrett Greenwood, a couple of goals and assists, and he's just coming on strong and anchoring that second line.
Well, there's a lot of great depth on the varsity squad. We just watched the JV squad teach Malden Catholic a lesson. I think it was 12-1 or 10-1 or something. The program has shown a lot of richness, and if you take a peek at the JV squad, both squads JV are going to fuel the efforts of Mr. Fletcher for the next 3 years anyway.
We agree. We'll listen to the announcements and have the national anthem and get right to you with first period action.
In goal, Mike Johnson. On defense, number 15, Gavin Kaluski. On defense, number 13, Scott Peterson. At center, number 9, Scott Caruso. At left wing, number 8, Matt Adams. And at right wing, number 10, Tyler Trino. And now the starting lineup for the Chelmsford Lions. In goal, number 30, Jeff Neal. On defense, number 14, Bruce Lindstedt. On defense, number 16, Michael Kahn. At center, number 23, Michael Curtis. At left wing, number 15, John Holinowski. And at right wing, number 19, Scott Trahan. Ladies and gentlemen, the last 3 five for the playing of our national anthem.
again. The recording of Kilroy, as always, his voice is just absolutely splendid.
It sends a chill up my spine, I'll tell you. Last night, Bob actually was in charge of the decoration at the new arena. Billy, were you there yourself? I heard it's an extraordinary facility.
I unfortunately didn't make it. It's one thing we should point out. The Riverhawks are now out of here. They're down at the Strongest Arena. Played their opening session last night, and I understand it was a sellout crowd.
Yeah, it was. It was written up in the Globe, nice article in the Globe, and from what I heard, Bob Kilroy did an extraordinary job decorating the new arena. So we'll see if we can get that guy back here sometime next week for the next game.
Well, unfortunately, he's breaking down tonight. It's the reason he's not with us. Keys to tonight's game, Jack, come out and score often and score more than Andover. What else?
Well, you know, as the game started, the warm-ups here, Chelmsford took the ice and in the precision military fashion did a display of team skating down there while Andover was stretching out. And what you had was about 23 Andover guys laying on the ice looking at Chelmsford, and I think they were already a little intimidated. They're coming in facing what's probably the best schoolboy public school in the state system, and that's Chelmsford. I think we're going to see go deep into the bench in this game, I hope, Bill.
Well, we need it. They come out a little bit asleep against AB, and needless to say, I think Coach Fletcher talked to them, and they came out on fire against Tewksbury. First period action with the puck in the Chelmsford zone. Back to the point. Andover trying to get it. Curtis picking it up. Curtis trying to break over the line, dumps it in the zone, going into the corner. Number 15, Adam Colucci. Up to 10, Curtis trying to get it. This Curtis Trahan line tied with 29 points on the season right now. Tied for second place in the league. First shot on Andover. Back to Lindstedt. Lindstedt in the corner. Trahan can't quite get the handle on it. Colucci again behind the net. Back over to 10, Listina. Mike Kahn's trying to keep it in and does. Kahn's with a long shot just higher than net. Sejnowski into Curtis. Has Trahan. Trahan behind the net. Can't hit Sejnowski. Mike Kahn's with a shot from the point and in. Screen shot.
Well, Billy, Mike Carnes got 2 shots away. Was the only other guy that put that other shot high, but boy, that's a little lax activity in the D in Andover's end there, and boy, they're going to jump on that all night.
And that wasn't one of Kahn's hottest shots. Here comes the replay, and you'll see the puck back to the point and just catching the far corner.
Well, that's 59 seconds into the period.
Chelmsford goal. Club number 16, Michael Kahn. Assist number 19, Scott Quinian. Assist number 23, Michael Curtis. Time of the goal, 59 seconds. 16 from 19 and 23, 59 seconds.
Okay, there's the announcement. Kahn's from Curtis and Trahan. So Curtis and Trahan matching point for point, now tied with Calabro, not knowing what Calabro did this week.
Well, the rich get richer, Billy.
Okay, Haja knocking the puck out. He has Greenwood with him. Greenwood coming down. Haja broken up by number 16. McDonald back to Marcotte. Billy Marcotte getting some well-deserved time on the ice here. Haja trying to dump it behind him. Can't quite connect with Greenwood. Here comes Andover. Up over the red line. Almost an offside here. Marcotte hitting number 6, Brad Dunn. Marcotte behind the net. Up to McDonald. McDonald has Haja. Can't quite connect. Broken up by 13. Scott Patrone. Lindstedt trying to connect with Greenwood. Bad pass, bounce off the board. 17 with a backhand. And a quick drop by Jeff Neal, couldn't quite cover, and 14 almost poked it in there. And a second stop there by Jeff Neal. Great stop.
Well, just work on that breakout a little bit. A little too low to get that puck out of the zone, but I'm sure we're going to be playing a lot of this period down to our right, Billy.
Okay, Coyne taking the face-off. It's McCarthy over to Bichette. Bichette trying to break it up. Gets a little bit of help by Mike Carnes. Carnes over to Stevenson. Bichette staying on side, drops it for a Coyne. A Coyne can't quite connect. Mike Carnes, and puck cleared by number 11, Mike Sheehy. McCarthy behind the net, drops it for Carnes. Carnes up to Bichette. Bichette can't quite get it out. It's Sheehy. comes Stevenson. Stevenson with a long shot, and Bichette right there waiting for the rebound. Quick cover by Mike Johnson.
Well, 12:04 left in the period. Already seen a little bit more bench than we see in games against Billerica, etc. But this should be a good night. Should have a lot of satisfied kids getting some play tonight. We've got the first line, it looks like, out there right now, Bill, with Tim Daly and Bruce, I believe, back on D.
Bruce over on left D with Timmy Daly getting some well-deserved ice time. So Coach Fletcher going to his bench early.
Waving the icing off here, won't make it.
Okay, Daly trying to pump it around to Lindstedt, a little bit too far. Great check by Stozanowski on number 8, Matt Adams.
Well, I think it was too good of a check.
Gonna call him for interference. He unfortunately didn't play the puck.
Yeah, a little anxious to take the body there. Guy never really got into the play and touched the puck, so we're gonna see what the shorthanded, the penalty power play looks like for Andover for the next minute and a half with 11:43 left, Billy.
Well, Curtis Trahan and Carnes and Lindstedt on defense.
Johnson penalty for number 16, John Stozanowski, 1 minute and 30 seconds to interference. Time penalty 3 minutes, 11 seconds.
Scott Trahan with a quick shot, and Mike Johnson lost sight of it. Long shot by Andover, picked up. They got their front line out here, which is Caruso, Adams, and Lestina. Number 15, Adam Colucci, one of the captains, behind the net. Chelmsford setting up in the box inside the zone. Quick break by number 9. Number 9, and a great stop by Neal.
Well, that was a heck of a stop. We had a 100-foot pass that made its way to a guy that snuck behind our D there, and actually it was Scott Only that was back that far.
You'll see this on the replay here. 9, Caruso, and great waffle save by Jeff Nielsen, and quickly picking it up in his own glove.
Well, blocker glove activity there. Well, we've got 48 seconds left to kill this one, Billy. We're getting a couple new legs out there. Rick Haja, Tim McDonald out.
Lindstedt and Kahns on defense. McDonald clearing the length of the ice. 43 seconds remaining on the penalty, and a long shot in on Mike Johnson. Number 15, Adam Colucci, behind the net, trying to come out, stopped by McDonald. Colucci trying Hey, we missed a couple of offsetting penalties there, Jack.
Well, matching penalties, no consequence in the play, but I tell you right there, in a long shot on net, we saw the defense get almost victimized again. They're sneaking a couple guys up, and they're making that pass behind our defensive line on short-handed situation here.
Okay, Chelmsford back at full strength, and Greenwood out with Haja and McDonald. Carnes and Lindstedt on defense. Quick drop, center and pass by McDonald. Haja can't quite get it in the net, and covered by Mike Johnson.
Well, that was a nice little triangle set up there with Tim feeding Rick out front, and Ricky, I think, just saw that one get saved with on the right post there by the goaltender. But a real nice setup that could have easily been a 2-goal lead for Chelmsford here with 9:51 left.
Stevenson, a shadow, and a coin. With McCarthy and Kahns on D, and quick roll in, and another cover by Mike Johnson. Face-off will be to his right again. Well, so far it appears to be all Lions here, Jack. A coin trying a quick long shot by McCarthy, and just wide of the net. Stevenson trying to get it to a coin. A coin can't quite connect. Being checked off the puck by 16. Quick clear. Stevenson back behind the net. Bichette trying to connect. Bichette behind the net. Stevenson and Bichette in the corner. Andover trying to break out, being checked off the puck by Bichette. Back to McCarthy. McCarthy trying to keep it in. McCarthy being checked by Tim Sheehy. Drops it into a coin. He has Stevenson wide. He's got Stevenson with a backhand and just wide of the net.
Just missed the net on a beautiful setup by Phil Coyne.
Okay, Andover still trying to break it out. A coin across in front of the net, and unfortunately nobody there. Here comes McDonald dumping it in, delay offside.
Nice shift by that line. Bichette, Coyne, and Brett Stevenson, Billy.
Great shift. Okay, Curtis, Strahan, and Stesnowski. No, Greenwood's out on this shift. Scotty's still in the penalty box. Haven't had a whistle in a while, so these guys will be in the box until we get a whistle. Got Marcotte and McCarthy on defense. Over to McCarthy. McCarthy up to Greenwood. Greenwood trying to connect to Mike Curtis. Curtis with a race to Johnson. Johnson getting it out. And Greenwood couldn't just keep it in.
He got his money's worth after the whistle blew. He had one of the players step up and meet him, and inertia being what it is, Greenwood put him on his seat of his pants a little bit.
That doesn't make him a bad boy.
No, he's a good boy. 8:19 left in the first.
Okay, Scott Strahan with the whistle is out of the penalty box, and he'll be on the line with Curtis and Stesnowski. 15, Adam Colucci behind the net, bumps it up. Marcotte on the point, Strahan. Curtis feeding Strahan, wind up, nice stop by Johnson, and a pickup shot by Curtis. Curtis couldn't quite put it in the net, dropping it for Strahan behind the net. Stesnowski in against 13, Scott Peterson.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Great pickup by Mike Curtis in front of the net, and great stop by Mike Johnson flashing the glove.
Bill, it looks like around 10-3 the shooting edge for Chelmsford, but boy, they're playing real well behind the net.
Great passing. Even the third line out here has just been doing it. So Coach Fletcher going to the bench deep, and all these guys are performing tonight. This is could be all Chelmsford if they don't fall asleep here. Okay, number 6, Brad Dunn dumping it in, and that'll be icing. Well, Jack, as usual, I pick up the Globe top 20 every week, and Chelmsford unfortunately dropped from 7 to 8 with Arlington moving above them. Two key things, Acton Boxborough coming in at number 20, they were not on the list last week, and Billerica coming in at number 17, also not on the list last week, but Chelmsford's still in the top 8, so.
Well, we should be there for the rest of the year, we hope.
Okay, Hazard, McDonald dropping it for Kahns. Unfortunately blocked by Greenwood. Greenwood behind the net. Hazard being checked off by number 2, Brendan Sheehy. Up to the point, kept in by Mike Silk.
Oh boy.
Quick shot and deflection out in front, and somehow or other Johnson got the pad on it. So Silk and Kahns. Mike Silk trying to dump it in, and Hazard being pulled down behind the play here. Hazard trying to keep it into McDonald. McDonald has Greenwood, can't quite connect with him. Greenwood can't quite get the puck, and Sheehy's trying to break it out for Andover. Sheehy against McDonald, dropping the puck for Greenwood, and quick stray puck, and Johnson quickly covering it.
That line really makes the defense spread out and cover the entire surface of the ice when they're out there. That line's really done a great job tonight, as they have all year, spreading the ice out a little bit, Billy.
Okay, well, this will be an interesting matchup. We've got basically Coach Fletcher's third line against the Andover top line of Caruso, Adams, and Lestina.
We got Timmy Daly and Bruce out on defense right now, and
Bruce puts that hard hit on, and he's going to go out for a charge.
Well, one of our guys got run a little bit back there, and actually we got Andover taking the gate, Billy.
They call that one the other way, we'll take it. So that's number 8, Matt Adams, on a charge.
6:39 left. Let's see how long this one takes, Bill.
Scott Caruso, 1
I
minute.
guess it's going to be 9. They didn't know who was going in the box.
8 minutes, 21 seconds.
Okay, McDonald, Trahan, and Greenwood. Trahan and Curtis.
We got hitting from behind here as well, Bill. We're going to be have a 2-man
Okay,
advantage
Neil,
as soon as we touch up here for. Take the shot, buddy.
Great play, nailed off the bench and has you in.
One of those penalties you don't like to see, Bill. Hitting from behind right in front of Andover's bench on Tim McDonald. Fortunately, he was backed off away from the bench a little bit and didn't get his head into the bench, but you do not like to see these days those hits from behind. So we're going to have 5-on-3 here for the next 1 minute and 11 seconds. And this is time to make hay, Billy.
Well, I don't think it'll be 5-on-3 for very long.
That's
It'll be,
right.
5-on-4 for a few minutes. Okay, Cons and Lindstedt on the points, and quick long shot. Sosnowski, that looked like it almost crossed the line.
Well, it looked from here like it did. The ref on the far side blew the whistle.
We got a replay here, Jack. We can see whether that made the cross on the far side to Johnson's left.
Brosi took the shot from the high slot, came right back off the lively boards and was banged in, and it looks like it may have crossed, but it's still 1-0 here.
All right, Lindstedt coming up has Curtis, Sosnowski, and Trahan. Mike Carnes on the other side. Curtis all the way in, quick shot. Can't quite put it in the net, and the net did move, but it looked like number 13, Scott Peterson, moving the net, so the faceoff should be to the right of goaltender Mike Johnson.
Well, with 5:48 left in the period, we still have 40 on the 2-man advantage. And same personnel staying out there, Bill.
I'm going to be very disappointed if we don't get 2 goals out of this.
Scotty got his stick up a little high on that one, and we'll be facing it off again outside the zone all the way down.
Yeah, the high stick will cause the face-off to go to the left of Jeff Neal, but again, Chelmsford on a 2-man power play here. Curtis against number 11, Mike Sheehy. Up to Sosnowski. Trahan trying to break out, can't quite connect. 13, Scott Peterson dumping it in. Here comes Lindstedt. Lindstedt over the red line trying to dump it in, and up just below us here, out of play.
Well, we got some yelling over there at the bench, and Jack Fletcher's not happy that we've mustered 1 or 2 shots only in this situation. This is time to make hay, to get the puck into the zone, set up, be patient, and take advantage of getting some guys tired by making them run around in front of their goalie.
Well, Coach Fletcher telling Lindstedt either to walk the puck in or take a shot on net. Don't try and drive it in. They're up 2 men here. So Lindstedt trying to take the long shot, can't get it in. Backhand by Sosnowski with 6 seconds remaining on the penalty, so they'll get the 1 person back, and Chelmsford will still be up by 5-on-4 for 26 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, on that 5-on-3, that's what you want, is to just get that puck to get bouncing around in the slot in front of your own zone. Here we take a peek at Bruce's shot, going lively against the boards, gets thrown out in front, and Sosnowski puts it definitely in with the backhand. But you want to be having that puck play 15, 20 feet in front of the goalie there. Still 5-on-4 for the next 25 seconds, Bill.
Azure, McCarthy, Greenwood, Timmy Daly on defense with McCarthy. I'm sorry, McDonald up front. Greenwood has it, drops it back to McCarthy. McCarthy trying to get it back up to Greenwood, and a long clear. And that should just about kill off the penalty for Andover on the second. So Chelmsford getting 1 goal out of 2-man power play.
Number 16, Michael Kahn. Assist, number 14, Bruce Lindstedt. Time of goal, 9 minutes, 49 seconds. 15, 16, and 14, 9:49.
Billy, we got the call on that goal by Sosnowski. The assists go to Mike Carnes and Bruce Lindstedt,
Now
making
again,
it 2-0.
firing the pucks in from the point. Okay, that's 24, Doug Henderson trying to center, nobody there. Okay, number 8, Matt Adams behind the net, trying to get it up to Henderson. Greenwood knocked off the puck. Hadger trying to take a delayed offside. Greenwood trying to hit McDonald. McDonald coming across the line, trying to drop it to Hadger, broken up by Lestina. Puck going to center ice, Timmy Daly. Timmy Daly trying to throw it in, throws it in long, and unfortunately that's just a little bit of inexperience, realizing he's not over the red line, and that'll be an icing.
Well, again, it's Jack Fletcher's over there reminding him of how we don't want to be facing off to the left of our goalie here. But this is where it all happens, right here under bright lights for Tim Daly and the rest of these guys that aren't getting the ice that they'll be getting in 2 and 3 years. Tim's going to be a heck of a defensive player. He already is.
Okay, Neil trying to clear it up. And here comes a coin with Bichette and Stevenson. Stevenson can't quite get a handle on it and getting a shot on net.
You know, if Bob Kilroy were here tonight, Billy, he would have made mention of that play. Tonight, like every night we see Phil Aucoin play, he looks pass first. He looks for the unconventional pass, too. A lot of times you'll see a drop pass from Phil that leaves a guy wide open. He is one of the really good guys to see play the game because he does things that aren't necessarily expected.
I think it runs in the genes.
I think so. I think so.
All right, Andover.
We'll leave that one alone, though.
Andover breaking it out. Carnes right inside his own blue line, Silk. Mike Silk, speaking of the gene pool.
Speaking of unexpected things.
Behind the quick errant shot here. Okay, Stevenson up to Aucoin trying to carry it over and drop for Bichette. Broken up, hit one of the skates of the Andover players, and Andover will take a change here, so Mike Carnes will take it behind the net and try and come up to Stevenson. Stevenson leaving it for Aucoin dumping it in, and we'll get Chelmsford to do a quick change here. And that one looked questionable to me.
Well, Bill, 2:15 left, 2-0 in a game that right now it looks like the edge on shots is around 16-17 to less than 5, I think. And
well, that was questionable because that definitely wasn't offside. The face-off will be at center ice. All right, Andover, number 12 being checked by John Sosnowski. Bill Marcotte up to Mike Curtis. Mike Curtis just a hair ahead of the puck. Number 24, Doug Henderson, long shot and
a nice save by Jeff. Again, made that blocker save and picked it out of the air with his glove.
well, you know, you can hear Coach Fletcher yelling, and he seems to be a little bit more forceful with the veteran players than he is with the young kids that are making some minor mistakes, and that's great to see, actually. Okay, Marcotte dumping it behind the net for Lindstedt. Lindstedt trying to hit Scotty Trahan. Trahan trying to make the long shot to Sosnowski.
Oh, boy.
Here, two on one, and behind him. Great, outstanding second effort by Sosnowski there.
A real nice skate save on the initial shot by Mikey Curtis, rather, and they just stayed at it and stayed in the slot there. Here we go. Curtis coming in, makes a move to his backhand, skate save, and we lose a little bit there. Was it Scotty that stuck it in, Bill?
I think it was still John on the backhand, but we'll wait for the official call here. I think Scott might have been taken out behind the net.
Well, at 13:27, that goal.
Well, we're getting somebody being put in the net. And
Yeah,
that might be on the
he's calling interference.
takedown of Scotty Trahan, and it appeared that it may have been after the goal. We'll wait and see. If that was interference and Scott didn't get an assist, I'll assume that's what it was. Okay, Adam Colucci, number 15, one of the captains, getting a great hit by Greenwood. And
Chelsea goal was scored by number 23, Michael Curtis. Unassisted. Time of goal, 13 minutes, 27 seconds.
okay, it looks like we didn't see that one on the replay. Mike Curtis getting the call on that unassisted.
Well, I think he owes Scotty a Coke after the game.
Well, the only thing is that on that skate save, it went behind the pad. We couldn't see it. It may have been over the line, which is great. That'll give Mike the leg up on Scott. So Scott's going to have to get out here now. He's number 2 or 3 in the league behind Curtis with 31.
Billy, right here we have what I think is being called the slash. No, he's not making the call. Bill, let's keep our eyes on the captain, number 15, whose name I won't look for right now, but I'm sure a lot of the Chelmsford players are getting his number. Took a wicked slash at Ricky Hajar across the wrist as the referee was watching play on the other end. Watch the action against number 15. I think he's going to find some body checks.
Well, little errant puck there sitting down. Doug Henderson cranking it up, and Neil making a great stop.
You know, I sense something here. Chelmsford's carrying the play, obviously, with the condition of shots and the score. But there seems to be a tad of aggravation and intimidation that's being tried both ways here. This I think, is going to turn into a physical game, the second, third period, Billy.
Well,
a testy, chippy game, I think.
Yeah, 15, as you pointed out, Colucci he's the person that Greenwood hit behind the net, and been a couple of hits on him earlier in the game. And we're going to get, it looks like, Phil a coin for interference.
Is it Bruce or is it Phil?
Maybe it's Bruce. Bruce it is. I think Phil was just upset figuring that since Bruce got the penalty, they're probably going to put the first line out there to kill it. So Scotty Trahan with Mike Curtis and Mikey Kahns and McCarthy on defense. 15, Adam Colucci, great shot on the point and saved by Neil. Mike Carnes clearing it out long for Scotty Trahan. There'll be no icing. Johnson out of the net. Trahan can't quite put his handle on it, and Colucci coming out. Long toss in, trying to hit number 6, Brad Dunn, and great clear by McCarthy. McCarthy can't quite get a handle on it. Colucci coming in, long shot, stopped by Neil, picked up by Kahns. Kahns back, and that'll be the end of the period. With Mike Curtis wishing that he had about 12 more seconds to make the long break in.
Well, Andover picked up the pace a little bit there with the shots on net late in the period. I got the estimated shots anyway, Billy, at let's call it 18-7. Chelmsford holding a 3-0 advantage in scoring as we head to the first intermission. I'll just quickly give you the goals. At 59 seconds into the game, we had Mikey Carnes getting the first goal set up by Trahan and Curtis. Second goal by Cisnowski at 9:45. Assisted by Mike Carnes and Bruce Lindstedt. And at 13:27, the scoring finished on an unassisted goal by Mike Carnes.
Curtis.
Mike Curtis, you're right, I'm sorry.
I did the same thing last week.
Well, I'll tell you this much. That's the type of period you'd like to see a team have, but I'll bet you dollars for donuts that Jack Fletcher's going to go in and tell them that they need to step it up, that they're getting outplayed a little bit physically by a team, and I think it's probably to rile the guys up. Right at the end of that period, as I mentioned, we saw what's going to turn into more and more chippiness on the part of the captain of the Andover squad, and we won't let them have the way with scoring, and we won't let them have the way with physical assault on our players either, Bill.
Well, I think you're right. We just saw Coach Fletcher talking to the assistant coaches, Mark Dearborn and Tom Gallagher, and I think that's exactly what he was doing, is saying let's make sure we're giving them the same message. And it's getting a little bit physical, and we expect probably to see a much more physical second period.
You know, again, as you mentioned, as we came into the first period, this is a game that we're probably going to see more action from some people that don't see action until the second and third period, if at all. One of those guys that has played solid as he's jumped up into the third line is Andy Pichetto. Every time he's on the ice, you can count on not having an odd man breakout. The guy skates his wing and gets back on defense real quick as the first forward back. He's really come a long way. I think he's a sophomore this year.
Yeah, he is. He's a sophomore, and we've watched him, Jack. You know, we've got kids the same age. We've watched him all our life. He's always been a two-way hockey player since he's been in the association. We agree. So we'll look for a much more physical second period, and we'll see you at the beginning of the second period. Okay, back to second period action. And net moved behind Jeff Neal. I think it was knocked off by McCarthy, and we'll get a quick change. Face-off will be to the right of Neal.
Well, we just missed a couple of seconds to that opening, the opening of the second period. Nothing of consequence there, Billy. Little oversight that you and I had there in the first period.
As we said, Coach Fletcher going deep to the bench, and we didn't notice the absence of Jay Ryan on defense tonight. And going down, talking to assistant coach Mark Dearborn, said, unfortunately, Jay has got this flu that I guess is going around that everyone else has. So at this point in time, it's a great night for him to take a night off. We'd rather have him doing it tonight than February 9th.
Andover would too. All right, we got 3-0, just about a minute into the second period here. Tim McDonald and Greenwood out with Bruce and Billy Marcotte back on D. Bruce loses his stick there a little bit, flipped up over by Marcotte. Rink-wide pass over the right wing. Greenwood goes in deep. Marcotte throws it back in around the wing boards. Thrown it in front. Bruce gets picked up by an Andover player. We got a 2-on-1 breakout with a Chelmsford penalty coming up here. Touched up by Billy Marcotte. We've got holding, and I'm not sure who it is, Bill. Did you catch that?
It's on Bruce. He took number 24, Doug Henderson, out of the play here right inside the blue line. So 13-12 and remaining in the period, and Andover will get, I believe, their first power play of the game.
They had one actually in the first period that it wasn't of any consequence. But okay, Mild had a nice vision on that one, saw it from 40 feet away and flashed the glove save. Was heading top far corner. Face off to his right here. Aja wins the face off. McCarthy throws it around, and Timmy clears the puck all the way down for essentially a shot on Andover. Ricky in deep. And again, you look at the setup here, we've got two very, very high Andover players looking for a garbage pass, and they almost connected twice in the first period. Real nice scheme there. I really like, Billy, the way that the short-handed situation sets up for Chelmsford. They force a quick, errant pass by the offense all the time as it gets thrown in deep by McCarthy.
Well, they're setting up their box right inside the Andover zone instead of deep in their own zone and not letting them break out.
Oh, nice save there by Jeff Neal, throwing out a pad. Nice play, Jeff Neal tying that centering pass up, coming from behind the goal line. And we're going to see a face-off off to Jeff's left. Jeff is
Neil,
looking solid in there, Billy.
Two great saves on both the seniors. Number 15 here, 15 is Colucci, and number 9, Cerusio, with a pad save there. So two great stops by Neil.
All right, 30 seconds left on the kill here. Scott throws it around, doesn't clear, and he dumps that one out. It's actually been thrown back in on a hand pass. Whoa, babe, right in front. Gets collected by an Andover player who throws it out front, and Mike Carnes is without a stick. Here's one that we need to clear. We're down one player, and we also have a guy playing without a stick. Clear that puck. Oh, he throws it up nicely to Scotty and kept in on the right point. Oh, but we got some guys deep now. Well, we're back at even strength, Billy. So let's regroup here and get this thing going again. Throwing it back the opposite side to Kevin McCarthy, who fires a long slapper in that's covered up, and we'll have a face-off to the goalie's right.
Well, Andover with two really testers on Jeff Neal in that power play, and Jeff coming up big on both of them. So
he's played a good game. That probably puts it up around 10 shots for Jeff, and he's turned them all away. Definitely on 4 or 5 that were challenging shots. Rick Hashar out with Lindstedt, and Ricky's line out with Marcotte and Bruce. A quick shot gets blocked off to the corner, and Marcotte keeps it in nice, puts it behind the net. Ricky in the left wing corner puts it behind to Greenwood, throws it over to McDonald. Right out in front, doesn't make it to Rick. Nice little effort there. And Lindstedt controls at center ice, and it gets stopped up, and we're turning it back around the other way. Greenwood coming up right, centers it, middle ice to Rick. We got an offside here just a little bit. Tim was in ahead of that one.
Yeah, Timmy on the left wing, just a little bit ahead of the play. Jack, I don't know whether you caught on that last shift or not, but Greenwood is just, he has no mercy. A couple of great hits on the Andover players in the attack zone.
Absolutely. And I'm telling you, he's licking his lips to get a dose of the captain over here on D, who's out there on D now for Andover. We got the coin line out. Stevenson and Pachetto skating the wings. Mike Silk and Mike back on D. Pachetto nicely into it. Never got all the way over to Phil, but that was a nice setup by Andy. Oh, a heavy shot. Bounces out to center ice. Stevenson throws it in deep, and we got 2 people checking him hard. Back out to center ice. Thrown in from center ice. Race to the puck, won by the Andover player. Whoa! There's a heck of a save by Jeff Neal, I believe. I'm not sure it made it to him, but we're back out to neutral ice, and it's being carried in by Stevenson. Cleared out to the outside the ice. Silk throws it in. Andy Pachetto, first to forecheck here, chases a guy behind the net. Brett Stevenson breaks him up at neutral ice. Andover throws it in. Mike Silk on the puck, throws it over to his defensive mate, who puts a pass up to Phil, just misses Phil, breaking up center ice. Pachetto throws it in deep. We're changing up that line. We still got the same D out there. Sosnowski, Curtis, and Scotty watch. Bang, bang. Almost gets it in the middle. Nice play by Andover D there. Oh, a heavy, heavy shot by Mike. Oh, doesn't make it in. Cleared all the way up through the vacant defensive slot, and Bruce comes back to control it and bring it back up. Mike Curtis pulls it in, sets up slow on the right wing, puts it back to the point. Heavy shot by Tim Daly, just missed wide and goes all the way back for Bruce to retrieve. Daly puts it up to his forward. Aaron passed a little bit. Oh, it's kept in. Nice move by Bruce Lindstedt, letting that one go through the goalie, Billy. You can appreciate that. Do you want the guy controlling or touching that puck coming in on you, bouncing like that?
Not on that type of shot. That's 15 Adam Colucci, and he's had a couple of cannons from the point. Not quite what Curtis and Daly have been, Kahns and Daly have been firing, but Mike Kahns got a cannon from that point.
Oh, he let through a couple bombs over there, and Tim Daly got a good bomb off as well, just wide. Timmy McDonald breaks it down, almost gets the pass over to an open Garrett Greenwood, who would have been unopposed. Jeff comes out and handles that puck a little bit. Nice play by Jeff Neal. Bruce controls behind his own net. Looks around, puts it up to Tim McDonald, who feels the pressure and clears the zone. Out in neutral ice, Tim throws it in deep with Rick Hasha there to chase. Tim McDonald picks up and swipes it to Ricky. Ricky hit the post. Nice setup to Rick Hasha. He just hit the left post to the goalie's right.
And Greenwood picking up the rebound, had a wide open net, and just didn't want to pull the trigger quick enough.
Oh, Garrett couldn't fight his way to the front of that net. Bruce got real deep, and Tim McDonald was on the point. Bang again. Oh boy, they're pummeling, they're hammering them now with shots, Billy. They did everything but put it in on that shift. 7:05 left in a 3-0 game in the second period.
Absolutely great shift with Hasha, Greenwood, and McDonald there, just rifling Mike Johnson from Andover. Number of great shots. Greenwood will be seeing one in his sleep tonight.
The coin line out with McCarthy and Mike back on D. Oh, deft little pass. A beautiful setup by Phil Aucoin to Brett Stevenson, Billy.
Well, if we get the replay on this, you'll see Phil Aucoin right inside the blue line, just making a great move on the AB player. Watch this move here. Through his legs, picks up the backhand over to Stevenson, and Stevenson just sliding the backhand behind Johnson. Great setup by Phil Aucoin.
Very, very nice. That goal comes at 8:07. It's from Aucoin to Stevenson. We'll let you know if there's another assist on that.
Number 7, Brett Stevenson. Assist, number 5, Phil Aucoin. Assist, number 16, Michael Kahn. Time of the ball, 8 minutes, 7 seconds. 7 from 5 and 16, 8:07.
Well, Mikey Kahns, as usual, getting an additional assist on that goal, Jack.
Boy, he's had a 3-point night already with Pachetto. Oh! Pachetto sniping, stayed at his forehand.
Well, again, Jack, you get the replay here. This was Phil Aucoin, pound for pound. You know, he's got Bobby Kilroy beat, but fighting number 9 here and just fighting him off the puck and driving the puck in and leaving a quick pass that Pachetto couldn't quite put in the net.
Just a beautiful series of events. It was a great shot. We got a blocker moving up on that. That's, as you know, a tough shot for him to handle. And made a great save on what was a fabulous setup and a nice shot. You know, a tough hit there.
All right, we get Swisbin.
Timmy Swisbin took a tough hit. He, right off the face-off. Got a couple guys out there for their first shift tonight in Mataronian and Swisbin and Daly, Pat Daly, with Marcotte and Lindstedt back on D. Let's watch Daly on this face-off, and these guys are looking for ice. They got it. Let's see how they do here. Behind the Andover net, D ties up Aronian pretty well up on the wing. It gets kept in by Marcotte. Pat Daly takes a slap at it with 2 guys on the doorstep looking for a puck. Tied up, we're going to have a face-off to the goalie's left.
And that Aronian kid is going to go out for a slash late shot on the goalie after the whistle.
Well, boy, that's
definitely in the genes.
That kid should be in the cage, but that's not a call that I saw the action on. You had a goalie that tied it up and a whistle that had not been blown yet. two guys on the porch, they're not there to look. They're there to try to put the puck in the net. So we're going to have short-handed for a minute and a half here.
1 minute 30 seconds of flashing. Penalty, 9 minutes 2 seconds.
Well, Mike Carnes with a shot on net from the point, and here's that scheme that got burned a little bit. Oh, nice play by Bruce. Bang. Played the puck and it got by him a little bit. A hard shot, misses short side. Mike Carnes comes out, tries to challenge. Bruce has got it and he fires it to neutral ice.
Seconds left on the penalty.
Jack Fletcher very, very vocal on this kill. Well, that one got by. That was a shot from about 30 feet out. Bruce went out to challenge. It looked like it went through his pads and just kind of knuckled high stick side, or glove side rather, Billy. Here it is.
Yep, Keith Esperada, number 12, with a shot, and unfortunately Jeff kneeled down trying to get the view of the puck and just up over the waffle.
You know, I apologize. That's not Jeff Nield in there. That's Adam Lavelle. I called it glove side because I thought he was a righty. That's Adam Lavelle. It went stick side high, his left side. We'll take this chance to apologize to Jeff for not commenting on a great game that he's played. There goes a relentless check by Greenwood on the guy that deserves it. And he comes out and he pulls down Tim McDonald. Here comes that activity we talked about. Greenwood in a hard, high check. We're going to see it get lively here, Billy. Oh, right at the porch. Greenwood just misses wide. Ricky, right in the slot. And we've got to have a call here. Oh, the net's moved. I'm sorry, Bill. Off the
Net
off
moved
the post.
by 15, Adam Colucci, and Colucci just in there trying to throw his weight around. Greenwood with a just phenomenal check on number 11, Mike Sheehy, down in the left-hand corner just before that. There are a few kids behind the glass there, and I think they thought he was coming through the glass.
The Haja line out with McCarthy and McCarthy and Marcotte back on D. A hard check against the Chelmsford boards, and the zone is cleared out to neutral ice. Tim McDonald carries, delayed offside here. Andover controls into neutral ice, and Tim takes it away and gets a hard hit coming in. A breakout here, wide Andover shot. McCarthy throws it up, it's kept in, and now it's cleared by Chelmsford. Billy Marcotte going back to play off Lavelle controlling it for him. It passes it up to Greenwood, who gets a hammers.
He's going to go out for an elbow here,
Well, yeah,
suspect.
He got up high a little bit, and you called that one right, Billy. But boy, he saw a glance down to check the position of the puck, took advantage, hammered that kid high. Well, we're going to play short for the next 2 minutes, minute and a half rather, with 3:43 left in the second period of a 4-1 game. The Chelmsford's ahead.
Well, again, Greenwood just throwing some unbelievable weight and some phenomenal hits. But unfortunately, he got the elbow up just a bit.
1 minute 30 seconds elbow. Time of penalty 11 minutes 17 seconds.
Scotty breaks it in, comes down right wing, and tucks in a beautiful play, reminiscent of a Bobby Orr rush. A fabulous play by Scott, who in the process of scoring, I think, got slashed across the wrist. But boy, I hope we can hold off on the replay for a minute here. You're going to get your money's worth on this replay.
Well, Scotty just had Mike Curtis with him, and the defensive play is looking for Curtis, and Scott just walking around and stuffing it in the corner.
Billy, on the pretty category, they don't get much better than that one. That was a heck of a goal by Scott, who is in some discomfort over at the end of the Chelmsford bench right now.
Well, as I said, you know, Scott and Mike have grown up together and good friends, and again tied for 31 points on the season.
that assist goes to Bruce Lindstedt from Scotty on a beauty, absolute beauty. And we got Tim McDonald chasing it down with the man that's been hitting guys a little high all night here. Let's see if we can take some body here on number 15. We're still in the middle of a penalty kill here, unfortunately. And look at how low Bruce is on this play, and that's the way Coach Fletcher draws it up. Hajar challenges in the corner, keeps it in there. Andover player gets a little help. Nice job tying it up by Ricky. Center in the... Mike Carnes got a little piece of that and went high. Down in the corner, Bruce throws it up. It gets kept in by Andover, and there goes Rick feeding Tim. Bang! Tim gets hit by the guy that's been throwing his weight around all night, right at center ice. And that power play for Andover is over, Billy.
Well, on that power play, it looked like Chelmsford with a shot-handed goal. And Andover coming up shot-handed.
Well, we've got 2:03, 2:08, it looks like, left in what's turned into a 5-1 game for Chelmsford. And, you know, there's no quitting this, that particular defensive captain for Andover. He's still hitting guys pretty hard, Bill. Okay, puck dropped, the coin line's out, and it's cleared to center ice with Pichetto chasing hard. Having a little difficulty finding the handle. It gets up to Marcotte, who's going to toss it over to his mate Kevin McCarthy. Up to a coin at center ice. Gets tossed in. Stevenson's got it, throws it in the front of the net. Not handled cleanly. Pichetto actually gets a shot off, and it's kept in by Bill Marcotte. A coin challenging him, and oh, that kid should be on a leash. Gets thrown in hard, and Phil Aucoin draws the oohs and ahs of the faithful in front of him, putting that frame of his on an Andover player who never expected it. It looks like he hurt the kid a little bit, Bill.
Well, that's number 9, Scott Cerusio, also a senior, and although he's not a big boy, Phil just throwing the hip in and taking him right out of the play. So he must have been talking to Greenwood while Greenwood was sitting in the penalty box. And
like so many other Aucoins before him, he draws a penalty right off the face-off, gets pitchforked, calling interference. Could have been a couple of things, but Phil draws a nice little penalty, and we're going to finish this last minute and 23 of the period with the power play situation with the Hajar, Greenwood, and McDonald line out there.
Yeah, number
Bruce
16.
Lindstedt and Carnes on D.
Yep, 16, Mike Malgren for Andover just seemed to want to retaliate and take Phil out of the play. So he'll get to spend a minute and a half in the box.
Hard shot by Mike Carnes. Well, we've got Andover complaining here about a net that was pulled off its post by one of their own players. He turned the net very hard trying to chase Mike Carnes and pulled it off the anchors. And we're having a stoppage of play with a face-off to the left of Adam Lavelle.
Well, Coach Fletcher shouting some instructions to his team on the bench here, saying that they shouldn't have got off the shot, that they're actually on the power play.
Oh, almost tipped in by McDonald, who was right in the right place in front. Gets thrown in here. They're running that little play where Bruce Lindstedt goes in low and forward moves up high. And this one might turn in. No, it's cleared out of the zone by the Andover player. Let's take this one back, Bruce. He controls, takes it away, and throws it over to Mike Carnes. Feeds it up to Curtis, breaking through center ice. Pulls up a little bit and looks around. Nice play around a forward and throws it high. It comes out to Carnes, who hammers it. Little short side. McDonald controls, throws it behind. Scotty's got it. And it gets cleared with 10 seconds left in the period. Thrown to Bruce. Bruce over smartly to Mike Carnes. Oh, nice pass and collection by Curtis, who scores right at the buzzer. And I think we're we might see a rare assist to a goalie here, Billy. I'm not sure. No, actually, it got handled
No, it got
3
handled
times.
twice. We'll have the replay. It went across the D and long pass to Curtis, and Curtis just sliding in, waiting, pulling the quick deke and waiting for Johnson to get out and just popped it into the corner.
Well,
Hey, Jack, great finish to the second period there with Mike Carnes feeding Mike Curtis on a long shot, putting it in behind the defense, and Curtis just going in and popping it up in the top corner for a 6-1 Chelmsford lead here.
it was a beautiful pass up by Mike Carnes, as you mentioned, that got that assist, but what a beautiful collection of that pass it was. And he made no mistake on that one. I'm not sure whether we've had the same goalie in for Andover all night, but it's got to be a tired kid.
We have Mike Johnson, who's a junior, number 1, has been in there all night, and I don't know what the total number of shots are, but it looks like it's somewhere around 18-7, I guess, unofficially, and some of those shots have been testers.
They sure have. The shots on net, the actual total on that period was lots to few, and Chelmsford's putting on a nice little display here. As you mentioned, we had a couple guys, Garrett Greenwood in particular, step up and make some hits there. Phil Lecoyne made a tough hit over in the corner as well, and to his credit, I don't know whether they got a little speech from Jack, but they're playing a little bit more physical, and they're playing a team that looks a heck of a lot slower when you compare forward to forwards out there, Chelmsford versus Andover.
Yeah, you know, number 15, as we said, from Andover, Adam Colucci, senior. He's a big boy. We don't have the official roster, but got to be close to 6 feet, 190 plus pounds, and throwing his weight around, hitting some of the young guys. I think you're going to see this game continue to be physical. The other thing I think we're going to look for in the third period is Cons has got a lead on Scotty Trahan now, so Scotty's got to come back.
Oh, well, I'm sure they're not going to. They might gibe each other a little bit in the locker room, but those two guys play so well together. And when you see a team that's a little bit slower than them, boy, they expose them quickly. You know, up and down whatever line it's been tonight, all the forward lines have played real well tonight, as the D has. This is a game that's well in hand, and we're going to see some guys get some good time in the third period.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up here. We'll see you at the beginning of the third period. We're going to go and try wake up Ronian so that it'll be starting the third period on time. Well, Jack, we got a Ronian awake. We're ready for the start of the third period here. And it looks like Jack's going to keep Adam Lavelle in the net. And again, I think we can look for a great physical third period.
Well, game's well in hand, and I'm sure that Jack wants them to just come out and play a solid third period here. Play solid defensively and a disciplined passing brand of hockey, as we see some of the Chelmsford faithful that know this one's in hand with 15 minutes to go in what is a 6-1 game for Chelmsford.
Well, we don't have quite the crowd that we had at the Barica game, but as always, people come out for Barica. Third period action, long shot in behind Adam Lavelle. And Andover trying to center, picked up by Lindstedt. Lindstedt to Trahan. Trahan trying to hit Curtis. Curtis can't quite make it. Cisnowski leaving for Curtis. Curtis with a long shot just misses the side of the net. Mike Carnes trying to put a shot on net wide. Curtis in the corner. Drops it back to Lindstedt. Lindstedt can't get quite the full handle on it. Picked up by Cisnowski behind the net, and Curtis taken out of the play and basically knocked over goaltender Mike Johnson, and Johnson a little bit shaken up.
Well, that was a play that it looked like Mike was coming out to head to the front because he wasn't challenged there right away. As he came out, he kind of got hit by an Andover player, and it looks like he may have clipped Johnson a little bit as he came through the crease.
Well, we see Jeff Neal up on the corner of the bench next to Coach Fletcher, and he getting some well-deserved rest. And Central coming up on Saturday, and then Barica on the 9th. So, okay, McDonald, Hazard, and Greenwood. We'll be watching Greenwood just hammering some people tonight. Marcotte and Lindstedt on defense. Marcotte trying to connect with Greenwood, can't quite make it. Long pass for Ricky Hazard, and dropping it for McDonald, and no goal.
Well, that's one I think Tim wishes he had back. That was a nice feed by Rick, who threw over a nice pass right in the slot. Let's see if we can see it on the replay here. Ricky goes in deep behind the goal line a little bit, throws it over, and Tim just misfired a tad. Maybe he got it off. We couldn't really tell from here, but from there, havoc.
Okay, number 6, Brad Dunn getting it out for Andover. And Rick Hazard poking it up. Lindstedt not real happy with number 12, Keith Desperado. Looked like a little bit of late hit there and no call. So we know Bruce. Bruce typically kind of has the mind of an elephant, doesn't forget. Hazard to McDonald. McDonald has Greenwood and broken up by 16 and picked up great by Hazard just wide of the net. McDonald trying to come out in front. Hazard being held by 24, Doug Henderson. And Marcotte quite not making a handle. Long shot by number 12, Andover on the change here. Okay, Marcotte up to Greenwood. It doesn't quite connect. Picked up by Hazard. Hazard has McDonald with him. McDonald in the feet, can't quite get the handle on it, and just pulled down by number 4, Dave Morin. All right, Adam Colucci, broken up by Marcotte. McCarthy behind the net, around for McDonald. McDonald with a quick heads up, number 25, Mike Thomas, getting ready to come in and push him into the boards. Marcotte can't quite connect with McCarthy. Marcotte ducking the hit to Greenwood, up to Hazard, and Chelmsford making a quick change, and that'll be icing.
Kevin McCarthy rather saw the defensive captain coming up across ice. He recognizes his number. He stepped up aggressively, actually came across to carry him, hoping to take the body, tied him up quickly, poke checked it away, and I think a couple guys do have number 15's number, Billy.
Well, the one thing you can know with the defense that hasn't gotten a lot of ice time is they're just not connecting with those passes around the net like the veterans are, and that just comes in time. Okay, a coin, Bichetto taking a vicious hit by number 19, Dave Chapin, and Brett Stevenson, and puck up and out of play, so the face-off will probably be to the left of Adam Lavelle.
Andy stood up nicely to that one. Looks like a stick might have got under his cage a little bit there as he's tending to his strap, but he stood up nicely to that check.
Okay, a coin trying to connect with Stevenson. Carnes leaving it for McCarthy. Up to Stevenson. Stevenson's got a coin. Ahead to Phil. Phil can't quite get the connection and pulled down by Scott Caruso. McCarthy, Bichetto leaving it for a coin. Phil can't quite get the handle on it. Back behind the net, McCarthy around for Carnes. Misses, hits Bichetto over to a coin and to Stevenson, and Coach Fletcher calling for a change.
Yeah, Brett had a little bouncing puck there. He got offside zone a little bit. We're going to have a face-off right in front of the Chelmsford bench. 11-13 left in a 6-1 game, third period.
Okay, Roney and Kidder and Daly getting some ice time here with Tim Daly on defense with Lindstedt. So Pat Daly going in the corner. And long shot, could have been ice. Adam Lavelle handling it. And Tim Daly with a hit. Pat Daly being hauled down and no call.
Uh-oh. Jeff almost took the lane there, and somebody does. Pat does.
Okay. Kidder trying to back check here. Tim Daly up to Kidder. Kidder trying to get it out of the zone, being broken up by number 2, Brendan Shee. Long shot in. Here comes Aronian. Aronian trying to get it out. Can't quite get it through. Back behind Lindstedt. Lindstedt trying to connect with Kidder. Kidder can't quite get the handle on it. Okay, a little bit of a bouncing puck here, broken up. Jeff Kidder can't quite get the handle. Long shot by 17 on Lavelle, broken up by Lindstedt. Quick centering pass and screen shot, luckily wide. Okay, puck out of the zone, picked up by Pat Daly. Pat Daly coming in on net. Coach Fletcher calling for a change. Pat can't quite get the handle on it. Pulled down.
Nice move through the defensive player, though, by Tim Daly. Pat Daly, rather.
All right, Trahan, Sosnowski, and Curtis. Sosnowski leaving it for Scotty Trahan. Can't quite connect. And no icing, waved off here. Lindstedt behind the net has Timmy Daly. Here comes Lindstedt up, dropped unfortunately in front for Henderson, and Lavelle with the quick handle. Unfortunately, number 24, Doug Henderson, picking up a puck there with a backhand, and quick cover by Adam Lavelle.
That's a tired defensive pairing that went off. They were out there for a long time. We've got the Trahan line, or the Curtis Trahan and Sosnowski line out with Mike Carnes, Mike Silk on D, and Adam Lavelle with a nice save right in front off an initial shot and a rebound. Very, very nice.
Well, Lavelle, a couple of great stops. We'll get a replay here. Long shot in, and again, 24 Henderson just getting the handle on it.
Nice, smart play to avoid the offsides there by Scott and Curtis. A nice check by Sosnowski. Carnes over to Silk.
Hey, Mike Silk.
And Mike getting some damage over there.
Well, that's number 15, and I think you're going to see him get on. Here we go. Great feed by Scotty Trahan, by Mike Curtis, and Mike just couldn't do it again.
What a beautiful feed is right.
Okay, Mike Silk, long shot just wide of the net. Scotty Trahan. Scotty looking for Curtis. Behind Sosnowski. We got a delay penalty coming here on Andover. And Scotty Trahan.
I didn't see it, Bill. What was it?
I didn't see it either, but it looks like 15 on a rough. And we can't imagine that happening. He's been throwing the body around all night.
You know, in blue, he's a guy we've been complaining about, but he's a tough, hard-nosed player. He likes the puck, and he's always around action. He's a good player, but he's going to sit the next minute and a half out in a 6-1 game.
Azure, McDonald, and Greenwood with Cons and Lindstedt on defense. So long shot in.
Number 15, Adam Karuki, 1 minute 30 seconds to nothing. Time of the penalty, 6 minutes, 28 seconds.
Okay, Lindstedt around the back of the net to Cons. Cons trying to get it up to McDonald. McDonald over the line, has Hazard and Greenwood holding. Looking for Lindstedt. Lindstedt winding up, can't quite connect. He's got McDonald. McDonald waiting, had the goalie down, couldn't quite get it up in the corner. McDonald back around the back of the net to
nice
Greenwood.
Patient play here, Billy.
Greenwood, they're taking a long shot, and Johnson quickly throwing it into the corner. Hazard back for McDonald. McDonald has Conza open at the point. We'll drop it for Mike. Mike, come on, Mike, wind up and take the shot. There you go, just wide of the net, and unfortunately around.
Oh, you talked him into that one, Billy. You're right. He had a guy going to the net. It was time to tee that one up and let have.
Well, I understand in practice when Jack puts a radar gun on them that Mike's got probably one of the hardest shots on the team, up over 80 miles an hour. So if I was playing that wing, I'd be feeding him.
Nice movement here without the puck, with the puck.
Okay, quick clear, and that'll just about kill the penalty. Cons being checked by Mike Sheehy behind the net, leaves it for Lindstedt. Back at full. Lindstedt up to Greenwood. Greenwood being held, no call, and that will be clearly offside.
Oh, you're right. That was a flagrant hold, two-hand hold there, or bear hug on Greenwood's arm. And strong kid that he is, he was just dragging that guy from red line to blue line. Let's see Phil pot one here.
Well, Marcotte and McCarthy on defense, a coin, Bichette and Stevenson, and puck going behind the net, Stevenson, Bichette, Marcotte trying to keep it in, a coin leaving it, Marcotte trying to drop it back in, Bichette trying to feed Stevenson, Bichette and Stevenson, a little mix-up, neither one wanting to carry. There's McCarthy keeping it in, a coin going to get called with a high stick, waved off, touched by number 2, Brendan Sheehy. And here comes Andover, Brad Dunn, up to Henderson. Henderson can't get the handle on it, broken up by a coin. Great two-way hockey by Philip Coyne. Marcotte trying to get it out. Pushed out by Bichette. Macklin over to Sheehy. And there goes McCarthy. McCarthy hanging on the point, definitely onside. Stevenson with a good hit on Sheehy. Trying to center to a coin and blocked by Henderson. Here comes Henderson. Pulled down, and we're going to unfortunately get a call on Chelmsford here on a hook, I believe, Jack. Henderson being chased by a coin.
Yeah, Brett Stevenson's gonna head out on this one. He had a nice play on the guy's stick with his own stick, but it just got slid up high into the guy's arm and under his arm, and he got hauled down.
So Brett Stevenson will go out for hooking with 5:21 remaining in the third period to give Andover a power play here. 6-1 Lions. We'll get the penalty killing line of Trahan and Curtis.
1 minute and 30 seconds for hooking.
Cons and Lindstedt on defense.
1 minute and 39 seconds.
Okay, Scotty Trahan checking Matt Adams.
Boy, that was a nice little glove save, Billy.
Marty Lestina getting the shot off Andover, and a great glove save by Adam Lavelle. Okay, face off to the left of Lavelle. Number 13, Scott Peterson. Andover coming in. Long shot just up over the glove of Adam Lavelle. Power play goal with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in that power play.
Here it is. We're seeing him come across, and a little bit of a flip, and it might have knuckled a little bit on him. It might have caught a little bit of the defenseman right in front of Adam, but it just snuck in under the crossbar. 6-2. 5 minutes left. Third period.
Okay, Timmy Swisman out.
By number 8, Matt Adams. Assist, number 10, Myron Castillo. Assist, number 13, Scott Peterson. Time of the ball, 12 minutes. 8, 10, 13, 10 minutes.
Okay, the announcement of the Andover goal, Matt Adams making it 6-2. We've got Swisman, Kidder, and Aronian out, and unfortunately we'll have icing on Chelmsford, and that'll call. We'll get Coach Fletcher calling for a change here. Getting some heavy cheering from the Andover crowd. I didn't catch a reason why for that, Jack. Azure, Greenwood, McDonald with Timmy Daly and Bruce Lindstedt on defense. McDonald behind the net for Lindstedt. Lindstedt has Greenwood up to Greenwood. Has Azure breaking out. Greenwood going to carry it himself. Coach Fletcher yelling for him to dump it in, and he quickly does. Ricky behind the back of the net being checked by 25, Mike Thomas. Greenwood trying to keep it in. Checked by Mark Champion. Around the back of the net, McDonald looking for Lindstedt. Lindstedt with a quick pass through just wide of the crease. Greenwood in the corner. Greenwood trying to be banged, but Greenwood holding his own. Greenwood again behind the net. McDonald trying to stuff it out in front. Right in the crease, and a great clear by number 4, Dave Morin. Back to Timmy Daly. Timmy Daly winding up just wide of the net. Greenwood couldn't quite tip. McDonald leaving it for Greenwood, picked up by Dave Morin. Dave Morin for Andover. Lindstedt getting ready to wind up, dumping it in the corner. Hazard behind the back of the net, has Greenwood on the bottom of the face-off circle. Couldn't quite connect, and there it goes.
Oh,
great
boy.
stop by Johnson, although I don't think he saw it. Long shot by Timmy Daly. Couple of great opportunities there for Chelmsford, Jack.
There sure was, and Ricky Hedges just having a great shift. He goes into the corners or behind the net. He comes out with the puck time after time.
Well, behind that, a pass about 3 feet off the ice. Greenwood just knocked it down and had another great shot on Johnson.
Well, both squads are tired here as Jack whistles up. That was a long shift, a hard-fought shift for that team as well, Chelmsford team. That was a real good shift.
Well, 2.5 minutes remaining in the game. We've got Curtis, Trahan, and Sosnowski with Silk and Carnes on defense. Here comes Mike Curtis. Great shot. Picked up by Scotty. Scotty hit the goaltender in the mask. Sosnowski can't quite get the handle on it. Broken up by number 11, Mike Sheehy. Puck going in behind Adam Lavelle.
Yeah, that was icing. They were going to let that one go, but what the heck. It was only 10 feet before the line.
Well, Sheehy and Sosnowski jostling a bit, and Sheehy will go out. And it looks like Andover is going to make the late change here, pulling number 1, Mike Johnson, and putting in Chris Cellini, number 35.
Well, Johnson's going to sleep well, that's for sure. He had a lot of rubber in front of him today, and we probably ended up with 45, 50 shots on him, Billy.
Well, late in the third period, I wouldn't want to be the goaltender coming in against this line, I'll tell you that. Okay, Henderson trying to break it out. Henderson way offside with Keith Esperada ahead of the play.
You know, late in the game, up by 4 goals. First guy back on that, Mike Curtis. Again, getting back real quick defensively. I'm sure Coach Fletcher likes to see that in any game, let alone a game that you're up by 4.
Okay, Henderson winding up, not getting the shot off. Kahns leaving it for Trahan, broken up by number 6, Brad Dunn. Here comes Mike Kahns. Mike Carnes looking for Sosnowski. Has Scotty Trahan and puts a shot on net. Mike Silk keeping it in behind the net. Scotty Trahan. Trahan to Curtis. Curtis dropping it back for Trahan. Scott dropping it back for Curtis. They just playing with the puck.
Look at him work that, huh, Billy? Wasn't that pretty?
And here comes Mike Carnes winding up, unfortunately blocked by Mike Curtis. Silk trying to drop it in, broken up by 12, Keith Esperada. Here comes Henderson, great back checking by Mike Curtis. Okay, Mike Silk carrying up. 1 minute remaining in the period. Silk will dump it in. And a little bit of Curtis in Scott Cerusio, I guess, or no, I'm sorry, it's number 6, Brad Dunn, behind the net, and they're both going to go out for remainder of the 53 seconds in this game.
I didn't see it, but down behind inside the Chelmsford blue line, and 2 heads popped up about 80 feet behind the play, and both sitting down.
Well, I'm sure it'll be roughing. They were both down, sitting on the blue line.
Oh boy, Billy, there you go. Another pass by Acoin. Did you see the play? Acoin goes in and has the net and looks pass over to Indy Pichetto, who's got 24 square feet to put the puck in. No goalie. Well, I hope we have the replay on that one. That was just a nice pass by the man Acoin, who comes in here, throws it over, open net for Pichetto.
Number 6, Brad Quinn. Chelmsford penalty, number 23, Michael Curtis. 1 minute 30 seconds each for holding. Time of the penalty, 14 minutes, 7 seconds.
Well, it looks like Curtis and Dunn were holding hands back behind it.
Number 9, Andy Pichetto. Assist, number 10, Pat Daly. Assist, number 5, Philip Coyne. Time of the goal, 14 minutes, 13 seconds.
Well, Pat Daly also getting an assist on the a Coin-Bichette passing combination. Great, pretty goal. Okay, Marquardt keeping it in. 15 seconds remaining in this one. 7-2 Chelmsford. Great pass from behind the net by Bichette to a Coin trying to return the favor. And Bichette back around the net trying to stuff it in, and unfortunately Chris Cellini, the goaltender, popped the net. Bichette from behind the net. Okay, Kidder, Swisbin, and Aronian with Daly and Silk. And Aronian almost offside, jumping to play. The only
We got a 7-2 final here in a game where Chelmsford, simply put, just manhandled the Andover, had their way with them all night, and you hear a little whooping it up out there by the Chelmsford players. But that was a game. Again, Chelmsford had their way. It wasn't really a great matchup, but there wasn't any quit in any of the players out there tonight.
Well, that'll make Chelmsford 5-0-1 in the division, 10-1-1 overall. It'll drop Andover to 3-2-2 in the division, 4-5-2 overall. But clearly, you know, Coach Fletcher going deep into the bench. I think with a little bit, he would have put Coach Gallagher and Dearborn out there. About the only people that didn't play tonight.
Yeah.
And Jay Alberg also, unfortunately, didn't get time tonight, but Jay did get some time against Tewksbury. Coach Fletcher going to all three, and I think Jay had 3 saves during that game.
Well, they're turning the lights down here as both teams head off the ice. It looks, Bill, like the next big matchup is coming up in a week or so. It's going to be Billerica at home here at the Hollenborg. And that's going to be a great one. Tonight's game, it's a nice game. It's a good win. And they weren't looking beyond them, but it's a team that they should have handled, and son of a gun, they did handle them.
Well, we also have Central Catholic coming up on Saturday, and Central is always got a good team. They put some good hockey players on the ice, and again, Chelmsford, by winning that game, can guarantee themselves at least a tie in the division.
Well, it's going to be, here we are, the later part of January. This is a team, obviously, with 10 wins now and 1 loss that's going to be playing later than most teams in the state. We're looking forward to, hopefully, them. They've been injury-free up to now. You know, Ryan had a little bit of a cold, but boy, I mean, it would have been unfair if Jason had been here tonight. They would have just beat up on this team, and hopefully, this team will come together and really peak in about a month, 45 days or more, and we'll be playing late into the year in a place called Boston.
Well, we hope to see you at the Fleet Center. We've got a long way to go before we get there. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching, and I believe our next broadcast will be on the 9th against Billerica here in the Forum.